What is up, guys? It is AJ from MMA Experts, and we are talking about Stipe Miocic. He wins the trilogy over Daniel Cormier. For me, it was last night. That's 2 fights to 1 against Cormier. It was pretty fair and square. I definitely thought he did enough to win it. I know the eye poke and whatnot, but to me, I don't think that was significant enough. I think the outcome was going to be a Stipe Miocic victory. Cormier didn't have that much for him. He was competitive, of course. He was competitive in the fight. Daniel Cormier is competitive with everybody he fights. Stipe Miocic and him went 5 rounds. Cormier loses the decision. Now, Stipe technically is getting the claim, or being given this claim, that he is now the greatest heavyweight of all time. Yes, he may be the greatest UFC heavyweight of all time in terms of what he's done, in terms of how many title fight victories, in terms of the 3 fights in a row title defenses, and now he's on another reign, 1 fight now. I mean, does he tie his 3 fight? Does he beat it? Maybe. We'll see. But let's not forget Fedor Emelianenko. I know some of the newer fans may not know who Fedor is, but when he was at his best in the Pride FC, this man was the scariest heavyweight on the planet, and the Pride FC was the premier league for heavyweights in the 2000s, 2006 prior. We can quickly pull up Fedor Emelianenko or Stipe. Actually, I can pull up Stipe first, as I have his record right here. Let's just talk about resume-wise. In terms of who they've beaten, right? Daniel Cormier is a humongous victory for Stipe Miocic. I mean, it's legendary. It's something that is going to go down on his legacy to give him that push towards, okay, I am the greatest. Francis Ngannou. If he beats Ngannou a second time, now we're really talking about, okay, maybe Stipe is the greatest. Junior Dos Santos, Alistair Overeem, Fabricio Verdum, Andre Arlovski, Mark Hunt. I mean, he's beaten some amazing names. Gabriel Gonzaga, Roy Nelson. You look back in his career, I mean, this guy has beaten the who's of the UFC heavyweight division. And that's why he's being given this moniker of being the greatest. He's the champion with 3 defenses. Nobody's doing things like that. I agree. I totally get it. But let's not forget about Fedor's reign. That's all I'm really saying. Fedor Emelianenko deserves some respect. Let me quickly pull up his record here. I'm clicking through everybody to find him. Okay, so we have Fedor here, the last emperor. Obviously now, he's fought way past his prime. I don't think it's smart. I don't know why he's doing it. I guess I do know why. He's making money. I think he should retire because, I mean, he is, in my opinion, probably tied for greatest of all time with Stipe Miocic in his prime. Now, he's pushed it too far past it. He's taken bad losses. His chin is gone. I don't think he should be fighting anymore. But when we go back to the prime of Fedor Emelianenko, let's talk about early 2000s, right? He beats Semi Schilt, who's a very high-level kickboxer and fighter. He beats Heath Herring, who at the time was big. Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira beat him multiple times. Fujita was a big name back then. A lot of these newer fans are not going to recognize Gary Goodridge or Mark Coleman, even Kevin Randleman. But at that time, these guys were monsters, and there was no drug testing at this time. So also, yeah, that maybe Fedor was on stuff too, but he's fighting against guys on anabolic. So he's fighting guys that are almost Brock Lesnar like, Mark Coleman and Kevin Randleman. These guys are monsters, and he was slammed on his head against Kevin Randleman. Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira, as I said, beat him twice. Mirko Krokop, at the time. Mark Hunt defeats him. I mean, an endless resume of impressive name. Beat Tim Sylvia in 36 seconds, who was the UFC heavyweight champion just recently before that moment. Andre Arlovski knocks him out in the first round. I mean, if you look, impressive as they come. But now, in 2009 is when he beat Arlovski, and then he beats Brett Rogers by a smidge. He was hurt by Brett Rogers. In 2010, it was over. He was at his best in the early 2000s. I would say up until probably 2005-6 was really the prime of Fedor. He's pushed it way past his prime. Now, am I saying that he could beat Stipe Miocic even in his prime? I'm really not saying that, but I'm saying let's just consider that his body of work was uber impressive in that era, right? In the Pride FC time. So to say that he's not still in the talk for greatest of all time, I think is unfair. Now, if Stipe Miocic beats Francis Ngannou, and he goes out there and he fights John Jones, then he clearly wins. Right now, I'll say it's even. I would say, to me, the greatest of all time is Stipe and Fedor. When you talk heavyweight, you're talking about those 2 guys. Now, in the UFC, yes, it is Stipe. In the modern era, yes, it is Stipe. But let's not forget about the Pride FC. Let's not forget about the legacy of the Pride FC fighters. Nogueira, one of the greats. Mirko Krokop, one of the greats. At these times, these guys were amazing, and I think it has been overshadowed a bit. I think Daniel Cormier, even though he lost, is still a top heavyweight of all time. Do I think he beats Fedor? I don't know about that. I think Fedor Emelianenko was truly a special breed, and so is Stipe Miocic. I would have loved to see that matchup. I think everybody would have. It would have been an insane fight. Who knows how that would have went? That would be a crazy video in itself. Fedor Prime, Stipe Prime, who's going to win? Maybe I'll do something fun like that in the near future. But right now, I'm just saying, let's not forget about Fedor's body of work. But Stipe Miocic proved one thing. He is the greatest heavyweight the UFC has ever had. He definitely is. Cain Velasquez was obviously in the mix in the talks. I wish we could have gotten that fight. Cain injury prone, disappointing, never get to see it. But Stipe right now is the man. I think Francis Ngannou is next. If he beats Francis Ngannou, I'll say he does surpass Fedor. But right now, I'd say he's even. Give Fedor that respect. We're even between Stipe, Fedor Emelianenko. I appreciate you guys watching this. This is a fun little conversation video. I just wanted to hang out, talk to you guys a bit about this fight, about my thoughts, and, get the idea that, hey, Fedor is still in that mix and Stipe is right there. Let's not forget about the legends of this sport. Thank you guys so much. Like, subscribe, post notifications, turn them on. Follow the social medias, Instagram and Twitter, guys. Definitely give me a follow there. I'm trying to blow up on all platforms, trying to expand the MMA expert's name. AJ DeVito is me. I run this page. This is my thing. Thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe again, and I will see you all in the next video.